Good evening, everybody. Looks like everything looks good. It's been a while since I've streamed. Been working on the Order Overseer bot. I might touch on that a little bit tonight. But what I want to do is update my charts. So we're gonna start with that. It's been a while. I got this. I bought a FTMO 100K evaluation to test Order Overseer. So far, it's great. There's, you know, a little bit of this and that I'll have to update through beta testing, but I mean it works. It's what I'm gonna use solely. All I'm gonna use to trade this eval, so it's good. We'll talk a little bit about that and look at that, but first, like I said, I just want to go through and update my charts. I shared a couple in the Discord. I already deleted off my chart. One was, you know, basically I saw price was right here. It was somewhere like right in here or right in here. It was somewhere in this zone. It was somewhere in this area here, and it was such a fucking easy trade. I literally didn't do any analysis. I just opened up my phone and I saw this, and price was, you know, somewhere in here, and I just shorted with my stop. Not even above there. It was above this level here for a 3R, and that got hit right down in this zone. And then I was going to look to short this area here. And it was late last night, and I didn't end up doing it. Reason being was I wanted this area to develop a little bit more. So you have to understand, when I looked at it, price was right here in this candle. I wanted it to develop a little bit, and of course, you know, by the time I was ready to trade again, you know, it moved pretty quickly. It didn't spend a lot of time in this zone. It got this move down into here, and I thought, well, I could short, but I would prefer to have my stop above here. Of course, I didn't catch this candle. It had already gotten this move down, and so anyway, this is where I really wanted it to be, and I didn't end up getting it, but that's okay. But nonetheless, it's a really clean setup. I mean, if you see a move like this, where, you know, you have this kind of block here, and you get a move up, a very cut through it, chances are, if you cut through this level, you know, you're going to come back and test it again, and that's exactly what we saw here for then that move to the downside. Mateo, what's up, dog? I'm glad to hear that. It's funny how all these things work out, isn't it? Because I know you were talking about that. It was a long time ago. It was months ago now, and you're like, yeah, I'll just see what she's doing, and well, here you are now. Your USD, this was the trade I shared in the group. This was super simple again. I just saw this wedge, and when this thing goes, it just fucking trends this thing. So yeah, longed in here, stops below here. We got the move up, nearly came back to entry, got the move up. I considered longing in here, but this started to round out, and sometimes I really underestimate just how much these you know, these Forex assets, they just run, man. They just go in the same direction like crazy. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It was nice I took a break from trading for a couple months and just focused on building Order Overseer every day. It was refreshing. It was kind of nice. But I'm happy to be done with that. You know, it's like sitting in trading hell. I'm sorry, not trading hell, coding hell. Every day, you know, for a couple months, it begins to get old. So yeah, it's nice to be back on the chart and have a little bit of stake. Have a little bit of stake on things. Like I said, I have that 100K FTMO challenge. So it's cool. Yeah, I'm using Order Overseer to trade it. It's fun. It's pretty cool to see it all play out for the reason that I made it for. So testing is so far going really well. It works great on the on the prop firm. All right, so fuck, man, I have not looked at a chart in so long. Oh man. All right, well, let's update all this stuff and just see. Let's see what the fuck's going on. I suppose we could start with your USD. And after that, we can go into BTC. I really want to look at the S&P 500 today. So, you know, I'm going to try to tackle as much as I can. I'm going to keep it all pretty basic. I just want to mark out a bunch of levels. Just shit that should be on my chart. And we'll go from there. Yeah, you know, once that high was taken, you know, I was pretty much thought that Bitcoin's done, and it looks like the cycle's over in my opinion. So yeah, it was a good time for me to kind of step away because stakes are low. You know, I think it's done. I'm only going to be shorting Bitcoin really for, you know, the next year probably. God, these assets are so weird. Some of these assets are so weird to trade. Suppose yeah, we're gonna be coming up on the daily close. No, it already closed for euro. Huh, okay. Yeah, it's gonna take a little getting used to. Oh, that's way up there. Holy fuck, that's way up there. God, these assets just trade so clean. It's unbelievable. Look at the rejection right off of that. Boom. Just like right there. Beautiful. Yeah, pretty much anywhere in here. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, just as an example, you look at this here, channel top. Look at this here, channel top. Look at this here, channel top. I'm gonna long. I'm gonna find a long. I don't really want to hold it for a week, so I'm gonna trade, you know, intra week, daily-ish kind of time frames. But only long for a while on your USD. Hmm. I'm gonna look at the S&P 500 after this because that's actually what I want to look at. That's what I'm very interested in. Yeah, what day is it? Thursday, Friday? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it gets decent movement. Yeah, I'm gonna set kind of an alert here, and if price visits this zone, you know, if it kind of wanes down here, I'll look for more of this stuff, kind of into this upper area. Yeah. So, cool. That's that for that. Now, what do I want to chart? I have to be sure it matches this chart. So, US 500Z. We have to be sure it's a Wanda. And I don't see a Wanda. US 500Z25. No, that looks, I mean, that's pretty fucking close. 67, 68. 67, 68. Yeah, you know what? This looks good. Seems fucking close enough to me. What I was looking for, however, yeah, and this is where it looks different when I look at it now. If I go on H4, there isn't that hammer that I would normally see. Yeah, I fucking US 500 Z25. Oh, that's definitely not it. Could have swore I had one that looked pretty fucking close. Yeah, it was the US 500. What is this on? Capital. It's kind of the shitty part about trading with some of this is that you really gotta sort of guess as to what level. You know, they're all similar. So higher time frame, looking at S&P, you can see this channel here. Fuck off, mate. We've reached the top of the channel again. So yeah, you know, when I see that, it kind of would suggest that, you know, we might see some degree of a pullback before continuation. It's a key area of resistance. We're at the top of the channel. I'm not gonna, you know, I guess I don't really need to get any more into detail than that. That's where it is. So, Hmm. So the one, let me look at the level here on this. We're gonna look at where the different levels are. 6, 7, 16. 6, 7, 16. 6, 7. Holy shit, it's way different. Where is it on this one? It is on 6, 7, 30. Fucking hell, man. Wow, it's way different. Okay. Well, so what I'm gonna do then, because it's so different, is I'm going to first update my charts, but what I'm gonna do is I need this level to get hit. So if this level gets hit, what's the price difference? 766, and the other one's trading at 766, 769. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'll basically wait for this area to get hit. Once that gets hit, I'll go ahead and open up a long on FTMO. But you know, really what I'll be doing is something like this. I don't even know that we'd make it that far down. Hopefully I even get a tighter stop. You know, I'm just going to shoot for a 3R. I might take profit a little bit more, a little bit earlier, but it's an area of interest for me. So I have an alert set there. I'll just keep an eye on that. Odd USD. It's another one I'm trading. I'm currently short Odd USD. This one, it's a pretty similar setup to some kind of types of setups I've been doing lately, but you know, pretty obviously there's some kind of a, you know, you could say that there's a sort of a zone right in here, you know, however you want to draw it out. Ultimately, maybe, you know, something loosely like this. And really, you know, at the time of the trade was this morning, so it was something not quite, maybe not that far. It was, you know, well, I don't know what's my entry here. USD. My entry is, so it was right in this zone in here. So on H1, leave. Yeah, so my entry was in here. My entry was in here, and you know, I put my stop all the way up here. I probably should have put it above here, but I didn't. And so, you know, I'm looking at something kind of like, something kind of like this. I'll pull it up on order overseer. You can see the tag there for the trade. So it's entry 5511. Stop. Six, 5, 1, yep. And my primary target 64614. 64614. So this is the trade. I don't know that I'll be able to take it all the way down there, but to me, you know, when I look at this, and I'll go ahead and update the levels and stuff, but like when I see it, I see that there's a zone in here. and it tried to break above that zone and failed, right? We gained acceptance. So basically I shorted, the top of the channel acceptance back inside, and I'm going to look for one of a couple things, either a sweep, right? A deviation. Can draw this a little bit more cleanly. Actually, we'll just go like this. I'm going to look for some kind of a deviation here and a reclaim. I'll already have hit my take profit 1 in here with this, and my stops will get set to break even. Or otherwise, it's gonna break down, right? We're just simply gonna have continuation to the downside and likely target these lows. I remember, yeah, okay, here it is. When I zoom out, god damn, dude, you can just see all these lows that have just never been taken at all. Like, they just seem to have never been taken. So yeah, they just, to me, it says they're gonna get swept to some degree. I mean, look at this. Yeah, this is even, this, yeah, holy shit. This paints it a little bit more clearly, I think, to kind of draw this out, where you look at this as a sort of a range, and we took out the range high here on a higher time frame, obviously a daily time frame. Locally, we just had this SFP in here, and really I'm just looking for continuation down, probably, to take out some of these lows. And if you look at my short position, it's such a tiny, I mean, Jesus, it could do that in a fucking day. That's a nothing trade for an asset like this. That's really small. It's a really small short, but it's a 3R, right? So it's intra-week, intra-day. It's a good size trade, a lot of gain, but I think it's a good position in terms of the higher time frame view of this. So I'll go ahead and update the charts on this one. I've never even traded this asset. This morning was my first trade I've taken on it ever. So we'll go ahead and update some stuff and just to get our bearings here. But yeah, Jesus, all these charts look like shit on higher time frames, in my opinion. It's really weird. It's really weird to see. Just a lot of chops. Just kind of a lot of. I mean, look at this shit. I'm sure there's a lot of great intraday trades there, but when you're used to trading stuff like crypto, I mean, look at this, just slop. I'm sure there's a lot of good intraday stuff, like I said, or intra-week, but this will be previous a month. Crazy. Previous week low. It's almost like this shit doesn't even matter, dude. Look at this fucking chart, man. It's just brutal. So crazy. But all this chop, it's good lower time frame stuff. Just, boy, when you start to look at it on the bigger picture, it's just so bad. It's like so bad. Yeah, I think contextually Yeah, I think that's really nice contextually. I would just look for this void to get filled. It's kind of what I'm going to be looking for. Just fill this void. I'll probably look for short setups on this asset until that void is filled. Really, that's pretty much what it breaks down to. I don't know why I wouldn't. I mean, probably expect a lot of chop and bullshit, but ultimately, I would say down there is going to be kind of the end game. And then from there, that's when you can reevaluate, maybe look at it. Maybe there's a different way to see it at that point. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice channel. Yeah, it's a nice channel. It's like looks just great for this short. Right? Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I don't know. What am I up on and on right now? Yeah, with order overseer, you can see I adjusted. So, for this trade for odd USD in here, of course it auto sets my take profits and my primary target, all that good stuff. But the current R updates. So like right now the trade's up 0.76 R. I know everyone's used to these massive P&L shots with percentages, and I think that really it affects your ability to trade because you're not really seeing the true gains of what you're getting. So this is a really nice addition that I like quite a bit on seeing this, so I can look at it and say, well, okay, I'm 0.76 R up, right? And R being my risk, so I'm risking 0.5% of 100K accounts. My risk is 500. So when this hits 1 R gain, that would mean that I'm up $500. So it's a nice metric to look at it that way instead of in terms of percentages. This will be a 3R setup, so it'll target 1500, but of course I'll take profit at 1.5. It'll do that automatically, and then again automatically set my stop loss to break even after take profit 1 is hit. So it's pretty slick, man. It's been really fun to use because I don't have to think so much about how to manage a trade anymore. I just won't think about it. I don't need to think about it because order overseer manages my trade for me. It's pretty slick. So there's that. We'll look at this. Okay. Yeah, and then of course much lower, but that'll be a different deal. I'm sure we'll get some kind of a reaction down in here where price will decide, are we going to break down or are we going to bounce from here? I'm going to tell you right now, honest to God, if price, as a matter of fact, I'm going to set an alert here, and I'm just going to say on this alert that odd USD bottom of upwards channel, look for a reaction. If given, short that reaction to take out lows. That's how I'm going to play it. Yeah, I want to see price gain acceptance below previous day low. Seems like it will. The only thing I could see it doing is possibly back testing into here, you know, and then getting the move down. Otherwise, you know, just immediate continuation down. One of the two. Suppose right here we'll have to watch. Yeah, definitely need to watch that area for a potential bounce. Yeah, I don't think it will. You know, there's room for a bounce there, but I don't think it will. If price deviates or sweeps these lows and gains support, consider closing. If lost, look to 0.65 for next support. Daily FVG fill, but I still think all the lows get swept, but might have more setups in between. Potential support DFVG filled. Watch for flip to resistance above if reaction here. Perhaps another short there. All right, piece of resistance. Let's take a look at BTC. BTC, I really almost shorted here. I talked about that earlier in the stream. Such a fucking perfect short. I ended up taking it, so just going to bed. But right here, such an easy setup. I mean, just fucking smooth. Smooth, very smooth. Where I want to do my charting here now. I suppose I could do it on the BLOFIN. Yeah. All this is bullshit. Yeah. Just deleting a lot of stuff. What am I on, BLOFIN? Oh boy. Fuck me. Look at that one, huh? Wow. Yeah. It's pretty chopped. It's pretty chopped. Also pretty chopped. Just going through and cleaning all this up. All this shit's pretty old. Wow, this is the last time I drew a Monday range. Huh. Almost, yeah. 2 months ago. Crazy. It's the longest break I've taken from trading. Of course, it wasn't really a break, but from trading it was. It's the longest break I've taken in probably 5 years. Not even close. The longest break taken in 5 years. I suppose this is about to be the previous day, so let's go ahead like this. We don't know where this is going to go yet. I don't know where it'll be yet. Oh boy. Yep, that's where I'd be looking to for support. All right. Fuck this one. Naked point of control there. Interesting. Oh boy, I don't even want to look at these. And honestly, I should just delete all these. It's good enough. Yeah, that's really the level. Yeah. Something like this, probably. Um, yeah. Yeah, it is a range. Yeah, you know, I think BTC is going down here. how it interacts with this area, the way that I was looking at it is I saw that we took this low out slightly. So if I go in here, this is how we took that low out. I don't really think that this is a proper way to take that low out. I know it's the previous week low here that we deviated and reclaimed, but we only just barely swept this. That wouldn't really sit well with me. I don't really like it. You know, that said, for me, I don't really see a whole lot of, right now, anything actionable. You know, nothing pops out to me where I'm like, whoa, I have to trade this right now. I mean, like this over here, when we deviated this, I opened up the chart like in here, you know, or like down in here, and I sprinted up to my computer. It's the first trade I've taken in months. I just so happened to look at the chart, and I was like, I have to fucking short this right now. This is going to be a great short. And sure as can be, that played out when we got the move down in here, and I saw this. You know, I wanted to short here too. And that, you know, that looked really good for me. I don't see right now anything that I'm sitting here and I'm like, I have to take the trade. I don't like this. I think we are going to go lower. But what it does in between then and then, you know, I have no idea. I mean, like say BTC bounces out of here and it, you know, runs up into this zone, I might look to short it. You know, I might look to position myself. I'm really focused on shorts for BTC, but yeah, it doesn't sit well with me. None of this does. It looks like we're going lower. But like right now, I'm not just like, oh, I have to take this trade. You know, there's nothing where I'm not just like dying to get on the chart right now. With what I see here, nothing crazy for me. I would like to close this daily though and update this previous day fully. And they have a weekly trend line and potentially an Elliott wave, high time frame wave 4 at a 50% retracement. Wave 4 as in this is a wave 4 and we're going to make another leg higher. If that's the case, you know, for me personally, the top's in. I expect BTC to mostly range and work its way down for the next year or two. You know, I don't really expect a whole lot other than ranging and downtrending. So I'm going to focus primarily on shorts. I don't see any, for me personally, you know, it doesn't mean I'm just not going to be looking for any long positions anymore for probably a couple years, really. You know, maybe there's something on lower time frame that, you know, I see a setup for a long, but even then, I don't even, I might not even touch that. Be more focused on short trades. Yeah, I don't see. I understand what you're saying, but for me, I don't see it in the same way. If you're looking at, you know, a wave 4 retracement here, it is of the assumption there's going to be another leg up. I don't see it that way personally. You know, for me, we're starting a wave 1 down. Probably be pretty aggressive. I don't know how aggressive it could get, but yeah. I'm gonna be looking at 88K at the very least until I'm gonna just keep shorting probably until 88.90-ish is hit around there, and then maybe we'll do some ranging or something. I don't know, but All right, so there's our daily range. Yeah, you know, nothing really here for me on BTC. The only trade I really like right now is that one on the S&P 500, honestly. Yeah, nothing. I'm gonna let just BTC do its thing. Nothing really stands out to me. Not particularly interested in anything. It's good to have it drawn out, but yeah, just nothing. This could be a bump and run pattern, so you know we could expect some kind of ranging like this, maybe a move down, whatever, and then some kind of a break to the upside. So basically just like this, break up, and have some degree of a move up, maybe something like that. Inevitably, I think we're gonna go lower. So yeah, I'm gonna let this one simmer. Gonna let that simmer. Odd USD looking like it's gonna make a run for the previous day low, which is the short that I'm currently in. So that's cool. Yeah, I wish I would have put my stop above this level. Would have been a smarter. Would have been a much better trade. As a matter of fact, I'd probably almost be out of it, but I just went wider. Fuck it. Just went wider on it. It's not a big deal. Went for a little more safety. I can always just close early and take the money. Yeah, it looks like it's going to run for that. Let's see where we're sitting. Yeah, you can see it up there. 0.84R gain so far. Looking at it on here. Yeah, just almost hitting that $500 for 1 hour. See how it reacts with this level. Definitely want to see it break down. That'd be sick. Yeah, looking down in there. This is a nice breakdown. I don't know that I want to short your USD though. Whenever your USD starts to run, it just fucking goes, my guy. Could maybe short it down into here. Consider it. Yeah, whenever it picks a direction, it just loves to go, just loves to keep going. Just loves it. Just fucking loves it, dude. It honestly, it just loves it. And I love that about it. I love that about it, honestly. I love that about it. It's nice. It's a nice thing. Yeah, it's a really nice Yeah, the M15 crossovers don't really mean a whole lot. Yeah. Yeah, there's not really anything here for me either. Just gonna let it develop. I think it is gonna run into here. Something like this just sits well with me. So we'll come back to that. Yeah, it's playing around with this previous day low. Hmm. 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 Oh, jeez. Don't really want to pull my chart up to that. Yeah, I don't really want to pull my chart up to that. God, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Just fucking double top straight. Hmm. Watch gold a little bit. Cool. Well, we got some good analysis done. I like everything I'm seeing. Again, I'm yeah, I got 100K FTMO evaluation to test the order overseer trading bot. So far it's going really well. It's just so slick. I don't have to think about a damn thing. I just trade. Does all the position sizing for me, everything. So I'm going to continue to test that. Probably have a couple updates to it before the end of the year. But right now it's in beta testing. So I would be, I would be very appreciative if you guys try it and give me some feedback, because, I'd like to knock out whatever, if you guys have some ideas, or if there are any issues, I want to sort of get all that wrapped up going into the end of the year here. But right now it's designed so well to just make it impossible to fail a prop firm eval. It essentially makes it bulletproof to pass them, so it's pretty sweet. Let's see if they finally broke down on this. Oh, it just does not want to break it, huh? We're really curious to see what it does below this level. So we'll go ahead and call it on stream. As always, guys, thanks for joining me. I'll be doing more and more streams here and there. I'm gonna do a tutorial on order overseer, what it does, how to use it, etc. Ideally, I would have that done by this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Again, thanks for joining me, guys, and we will see you maybe tomorrow, definitely next week.